Hello, everyone. Andrea Mueller here. Got a new guest today. We're on site at Prime. You gonna introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mitchell Coiner. I work in media and onboarding with Andrea, and been at Prime for about a year now. Only working in media and onboarding for 3 or 4 months.
Has it been 3 or 4?
Yeah.
A lot of you guys are always like, you need help. So Mitch is here to help. Social media stuff, projects. You guys have a lot of ideas that we would like to implement, but sometimes we just need more people to help that happen. So you worked on the live loaded calls.
I did live depart calls. Had a lot of fun doing that for 10 months or so.
Yeah, he loved it. He was like, I don't know if I can take a new job with you because I really like live loaded calls. I think drivers love them too, right? All right, so we came on here today. We haven't done a live Q&A in a while, so we're going to answer your questions. We're trying to sit kind of far apart, so it's kind of hard to see. So he's going to pull up YouTube here. If you have questions, let us know. I did want to let you guys know, new magazine's out. Got a cute little picture on there. If you guys have ideas, questions about the Prime Ways magazine, if you're not getting them where you live, we send them out to all of our drivers, and we've started sending them out to all non-drivers. Since we're not in the office, but you should be getting these. If you have any questions, like I said, or if you don't want to receive them anymore, just reach out to us at communications@primeinc.com. Stories, ideas, questions for that. You can also pick them up in the terminals. All of them have them. And then a map. How do we get the new magazine mailed to us? I have never gotten one. Reach out to me, Beth. If you email me, and I'll try to remember, but if you email us, I can look up your address. We may have the wrong one in the system. I'm the one that pulls those mailing addresses every quarter, so I can make a note. But this is a map, so much needed. When I started in 2011, 2012, there wasn't really a facility map, so I made one. I'm sure you guys, if you've been here a while, have seen the old school one. It was really sad looking, and we just kept growing, and I'm not that skilled to keep up with it all. So we had a professional make us a map, and if you guys are coming through Springfield, you will soon see these. They're not officially in print. I have to change a couple more things, but very excited. Love your feedback on using them. But we have new drivers. It also opens up and shows you what's in each main building, like the Plaza, Millennium Building, Z Building, etc. What was the question about live loaded calls?
What's up with live call? It never works.
It never works. Alan Hunt. Hey, how's it going? Why is there such a hold sometimes? How did that work when you were? It just depends on the time of day.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because during the day, those live loaded calls are able to be spread out more between fleet managers and the live loaded department. Later in the evening, there's really realistically 2 or 3 live loaded associates working at a time, and there's just a ton of trucks, ton of drivers. So it makes it really tough to get through those, but no, they're working hard up there trying to get through them. So sorry about the hold, but
and if you're new to Prime or looking to come to Prime, we have a live loaded call department dedicated. We didn't start it until I think 6 or 7 years ago. I could be wrong on that, but it's not something that every company does. But it's in order to help protect you from potentially having issues with your truck. And how often did you find errors?
Oh, I mean, all the time. It is a little bit tedious to do, especially when
AKA annoying.
Especially
for the
when
driver,
you have to do it
for the driver
every load. But there are a ton of issues that come up, and it's saving a lot of money for the driver and for Prime. Yeah,
we actually had a video created last year, and I've shared it to one of the Prime driver groups, and you guys have a lot of questions. Okay. I'm going to edit it because we did get some feedback that you guys want to know, like how much Prime has saved. It's been millions that we've avoided in claims or drivers going the wrong way or taking the wrong trailer or whatever. And so I'm trying to get that to add onto the video, and then I want to release that, especially for new drivers, so you know what's going on, why am I holding, and if you ever hold over a certain time, can't they press a button to get to their fleet manager or something, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm not sure from that side.
I can't remember how that goes.
I'm really not.
I know if you're a current driver, comment with that. Okay. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Mitch.
You're looking at it right here.
The Chiefs. He's a huge Chiefs fan. My mom asked today, she texted me and my sister and she goes, are the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? That's how much my family does sports.
Yes, they are.
All right, there's another question here about hiring and where we're hiring. We are hiring in all lower 48 states of America. So we were not hiring for a period of time from California, Georgia, and Florida. We have resumed hiring in all locations. Out of California, we're only hiring company drivers, but we are hiring out of Georgia and Georgia and Florida as well. Out of Georgia, tanker, refrigerated, and flatbed opportunities. Out of Florida is going to be refrigerated and flatbed. What's another question?
Nick wants to know if he's going to get in trouble for being the only driver without a YouTube channel.
No, you don't have to have a YouTube channel, but if you do want to start a YouTube channel, the biggest things, you can always reach out to me directly and ask for tips or advice. We do ask you keep it professional. There's always people watching. I don't sit around and stalk drivers' videos, but I do get a lot of people that reach out to our company and say, hey, your driver's doing this, or we're concerned about this, or he said this, or she said this. So people are watching, customers are watching. Always be mindful of that, whatever you put out there, especially if you're including Prime in anything. And also, do not drive and talk at the same time and film at the same time. That is not allowed. We will ask you to take those videos down if that happens. So that is not safe. We don't need distracted behind the wheel to make videos. You can use dash cam footage facing forward, but sorry, we don't want anybody distracted while going on the road.
How safe is Springfield?
In the surrounding area, I've lived here for, ever since I've worked at Prime. Before that, college, 14 years. I live really close to the terminal. I wouldn't necessarily walk at night around this area or anywhere alone ever. When I travel, I just don't walk alone at night. But I've never had an issue. Literally never, nothing for me. Never had an issue at Prime.
Just like anywhere else, you just got to be smart.
Buddy system. Always use the buddy system. If you need to go to Walmart, use the shuttle if you can. But it's not super dangerous. Frank said must be sunny in there because your hat. All right. Rick said, why doesn't Prime hire PSD out of Washington? They don't recognize our training program, I think is the reason. So you would need to come in with your CDL if you're coming out of the state of Washington. Let's see. Are we getting the Redesign Peterbilt 579? I've had a lot of questions. We did an Instagram and a Facebook Live today on the truck models and what's coming down the line. And I'm going to see if I can set up a video or do a podcast with them on those. I do not have recent information, so I don't have an answer on those. Eric said, does one driving record past 3 years affect new hires? Typically, no. We're specifically looking at the last 5 years on your application. No suspensions for points in the last 3 years. No DWIs, DUIs, etc. in the last 3 years. What else? There's another thing in the last 3 years. Your driver's license has to be active for at least the last year. No suspensions, no lapses of coverage or anything like that. And you do have to be 21. But yeah, typically past the 3 year mark, it's fine. It's just those cases or tickets or whatever need to be closed and off of the last 3 years. And then in the last year, we're typically looking for no more than moving violations and or accidents, and then the last 3 years, no more than 3 total of those. But your recruiters will go over all that information, so it's always worth it to apply and to see if not now when you would qualify. If it does appear you qualify, we'll run an MVR on our end, and we pay for that to double check those things before you come in. What do you got?
Anything dedicated in Arizona, in Tucson area?
We do not have anything dedicated out of Arizona. We do have regional flatbed that we get home typically every 10 days out of the west, all the western area. Jay said, hi guys, I'm really taking consideration becoming a member of the Prime family. I have to get something straightened out before I join, but hopefully May or June. Awesome. We have new orientation starting every week all year round. So there's no rush to get started. I mean, we want you to get started right away, but we know it's a big lifestyle change, especially if you've never been away from your family that long or friends. Most of our drivers are out 3 to 4 weeks at a time away from their home. So we understand that. You can go ahead and apply at any time. And, if you decide after talking to a recruiter you're not ready yet, we literally have a status for that. So it's nothing to be ashamed of if you decide, hey, I want a little bit more time or I want to save up a little bit more money. Totally fine. Just let your recruiter know, and we can reach back out once you're ready.
Stephen asked if we recruit from the UK. We do not. You have to be a resident of the United States and have your United States driver's license for at least 1 year prior to driving for Prime.
We wish we could, because Mitch knows he helps with the Facebook messages now. We get at least 1 to 10 messages from people that want to work for us that don't live in the U.S. So it'd be awesome, but unfortunately, our safety requirement does not allow for that right now. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Teddy, the trucker said, what are the trucks governed at? Are you hiring out of South Carolina? So our company driver trucks are governed at 62 miles per hour on cruise control. Independent contractors are governed at 65, and it's a little bit less on the pedal. And we are hiring out of South Carolina for refrigerated, flatbed, and tanker over-the-road drivers. Alan Hunt said, any updates on events like Million Mile dinners, end-of-lease dinners, etc.? End-of-lease dinners have restarted, so if you're completing a full lease with Prime, a full 3 or 4 year lease, just reach out to Success Leasing or your fleet manager, and they can help get that scheduled. They are keeping them much smaller than in the past, where we would have 2 or 3 drivers celebrate at the same time. We are keeping them, I think it's below either 5 to 6 people or less. Typically have your fleet manager if we can get them in, and then somebody from leasing, a driver, and somebody from operations of your division. And those dinners are over at Fire and Ice. Pay for your dinner. I've attended many of them. It's a pretty cool deal. I think they usually give you like a swag bag as well. But yeah, just reach out to your fleet manager. Those are happening again. I think we've officially had 4 now since December. And the rest of the events, they literally brought this up on the staff call this week, and we don't have an ETA on that. We're ready to get back in person, but we still don't have the vaccine widely distributed here in Missouri, and so we're just pumping the brakes for a little bit. But we will not forget about the events. We will be having in-person events again as soon as we, feel like it's safe for the majority of people. As you know, if you're not familiar with Prime events, typically our Springfield, Missouri events have like over 1,000 people at most of the events. So we don't want to be, in trouble for being a super spreader or something. Play it safe, but we will have them again. All right, what else we got? Does Prime Inc. have Southeast regional dedicated lanes? No, we don't have anything currently in the Southeast. We have been working on building some Southeast regional lanes for refrigerated and flatbed, but we're not hiring any new drivers there. I think they're kind of trying to build some stuff within. I just finished upgraded. I'm now sitting around at campus waiting for a truck. Do flatbed trucks take longer to get assigned than reefer? So the trucks are set up differently. They actually brought this up on, I think it was the staff call, but they're working as quickly as possible to get more trucks set up. Yes, they're set up differently. So there's more reefer ones available right now. It's not always the case, but if you call Success Leasing, they should be able to give you an ETA, but those trucks have to get outfitted with the headache racks and if you're getting equipment, stuff like that. So it is a little bit different. It's not, they don't swap them back and forth. What are the aspects of job history that would disqualify a candidate? So we look at typically on the application, we're gonna ask for the last 3 years of non-driving history. We're looking for job stability. So typically, if you've held a job in the last year, you haven't jumped around a lot, it's good. We're not super picky, but we don't want somebody that's worked at 7 companies in the last year. But we understand with COVID that 2020 was hard to keep a job because of layoffs, just a lot of things with family medical issues and stuff like that are concerns. So we'll work with you. The biggest thing is just to call recruiting to make sure you connect with the recruiter and provide that information so they know what happened, and why you weren't employed for periods of time at a time. Are you hiring out of New Jersey? What divisions? Yes. Northeast is a great area for us. New Jersey specifically is awesome for tanker. They have the tanker division that hauls food grade products, so mostly cooking oils and chocolate syrup and stuff like that. And those drivers, if you live in New Jersey, you would get home multiple times per week. And there's no hazmat, no fuel. They also have regional flatbed and then over the road refrigerated as well. Does Prime have a refresher training for drivers that haven't driven in 3 years? So if you need a refresher, we would send you through our Prime training program. You don't have to take the CL exam again. You would take kind of an assessment through Prime to make sure you still have all those skills, and then you would go on to paid training. What else you got?
If I have a CDL with no experience within 2 years, would I go straight to TNT? No, you would come in and go through a 3-day orientation. You would come in as what we call a C seat, so you would qualify for orientation pay of $70 a day.
You're lying. Mitch is still learning the ropes. They don't have any experience.
With
Yeah. So if you got your CDL and you
I'm
haven't,
sorry,
you're fired. I just don't want to give anybody the wrong information. If you have your CDL but haven't started with us within 45 days of CDL school graduation, you would come in as what we call a D seat, typically. So you're going to do that assessment period without paid training, and then you go into the paid training part. But yeah, either way, we can work with you. We have all experience levels. If you are coming from a CDL school, you do a 3-day orientation and you come in as a C seat. We also offer $1,500 in tuition reimbursement if you start with us within 45 days and we're the first company. All right, what else you got? Anything else? Okay. A couple other things that we've been asked a lot is how do I get to orientation? Fly, bus. Great news, we partnered with Enterprise Car Rentals within the last couple months. And so now we can reserve and pay for your rental car. You will pay for the fuel because it's kind of hard to do that on our end if you're going to fuel stops. But you'll pay for the fuel on your end. Just keep the receipts and then you'll give those to your recruiter and they will reimburse that amount to you after you're hired or after you complete orientation. So same thing with the entry fee for the program, the $100, we reimburse that to you after you complete orientation. But yeah, rental cars, so you don't have to take it. You can bring a personal vehicle if you want, but the rental car is a great option so that way your car isn't left here. And are you not able to answer questions about qualifications based on credit history? We don't pull any credit reports, not for driver recruiting, not for the leasing program, so that isn't a concern of ours. That we can't answer any questions on it because we don't base anything on credit. It's nothing we run. What else? If you are looking to come back to Prime, I think there's some rehire questions in here. We do hire a lot of people back to Prime, which is awesome. Sometimes people, don't realize what they're looking for, or they try local and it doesn't pay enough. Happy to bring people back if you left us on good terms. Just reapply, fill out a full application on primeinc.com, and then give your recruiter a call. If you don't remember your recruiter, no problem, we can pair you up with them. And we'll run a rehire vote, we'll look at your safety record, get with your fleet manager, just make sure everything's good to go. But majority of the time we do bring people back that apply for rehire. I answered that one. Scroll down, there was some more that came in. Sorry, first time going live here in a while. As a solo driver, can you have pets? What's the fee? And if you stay a year, is it refundable? So we do allow pets and passengers on our trucks. If you're a company driver, the pet typically has to be under 30 to 40 pounds. The Success Leasing Department can make exceptions to that. You have to talk to them and get approval. But there's a $1,000 refundable pet deposit. It's $300 down when you put the pet on the truck, and then $50 per week until you reach 1,000, and it is refundable. If you're an independent contractor, there is no max weight and there's no pet deposit because you're responsible for the upkeep of that truck, and you can have up to 2 pets. For passengers, if you're a company driver, you can have somebody over the age of 12 on your truck. You can have 1 passenger. You just let your fleet manager know there's no cost or anything. We just want to know who's on that truck. And then for independent contractors, you can have up to 2 people on your truck. If one's a child, they want an adult to be the other person, so that way the driver's not distracted. They do make some exceptions through the safety department. Like in the summer, they'll allow 2 people on the truck, 2 kids on the truck when they're out of school for summer, stuff like that. So just talk to your fleet manager; they can get you all the information, but it doesn't cost anything.
Is there an age cutoff for hiring?
No, there's no maximum age. The minimum age to drive for Prime is 21 years of age. We do partner with the military, and we are in their pilot program for the under 21 program. So if you're in the National Guard or reserves and you're interested in that, just call recruiting and they can get you information. We do have one or two that are in that program currently with us. But yeah, 21 and up, there's no max. We have people here from 21 to 70s. I think we even have people in their 80s. So we'd love to talk to you. The average age, I think, of our fleet is like 41. What do drivers usually do during the resets? That's a great question. I've never been a driver. I'm sure other drivers on here could answer. But our trucks do come with APUs and 1500 watt inverters. So I know a lot of trucks have TVs and some people have Xboxes, DVD players, stuff like that. So do people still use DVD players? VCRs? Netflix, yeah. You can also get through the company's store and the, I can't think of what it's called, detail shop. You can get the little satellite rig. Why am I blanking on all the stuff? What's it called? Drivers, come on, help me out.
Oh,
You can get satellite TV. Is that a thing? Yeah. I can't think of what it's called. There's a company we partner with, and you can pay monthly for that fee as well to get TV on your truck. All right, do you have any Canadian freight lanes for flatbed? I'm in Minnesota and I'm strongly considering Prime. We do have freight that runs into Canada, but we don't have any dedicated Canadian freight lanes that are available.
direct TV.
Out of Minnesota, you would be OTR, Dish Network. No, it's not that. It's I can't think of it. Okay, we're gonna give up on that. It's gonna come to me as soon as I end this video, I'm sure. Is Prime testing for COVID prior to school? So if you're coming from a hot spot or if you're taking public transportation like a bus or a plane, we will require you to COVID test after arrival, and your recruiter can get you all that information before you come on down. It's not everyone, and we do require mask here at Prime. I know we don't have them on here. We're trying. Mitch, I feel like keeps scooting closer to me, but in the hallways and stuff when you're away from your desk, we do require everybody to be wearing masks, and then we do temp checks for both in-house and drivers when you're coming onto the yard at all of our locations. And then they ask a series of questions as well. Where you've been, have you been out of the country, have you been on a cruise, which I don't think anyone could be on a cruise. Are there cruises right now? I don't think
know.
so.
Probably are.
I wish I was on a cruise. All right. Who can I talk to about posting what I do on video? The only thing I do is set my camera up and let it record till the batteries die. What can I record when I'm a receiver? So if you're a customer, you can't record anything or film anything outside of your truck with the customer's property unless you get permission. So it's very important. We've had some customers complain about this. They found, videos online where their workers are doing something, not necessarily bad, but that's their property. So always make sure that you're asking permission before you record anything outside of your truck. Obviously you can do flip it around and do Q&As or videos, where you're talking in the truck. A lot of drivers do that. But before you do anything on site, just make sure you get permission, photos or video-wise. As far as driving and videoing, the only thing you do is a hands-free dash cam facing forward. We don't want anything distracting you. We don't want you talking to camera, anything like that. That could be used against you should anything happen. And we also don't want you to be distracted at any time. So same thing with, using a cell phone, having those long conversations should not be done while you're driving down the road and distracting you. Safety is our highest calling. All right, what else? If I come to Prime with 3 months experience, how long would TNT be? You would do the full amount. Anything less than 4 months is gonna be 60,000 team training miles.
You offer any mileage guarantees or weekly minimum pay?
We do not, except for in the training program. So in the training program, depending on what phase you're in, it can range from 600 to 800. If you start as a CC, it can start at 600 if you're coming from a CDL school. But for the Prime training program, it goes from 700 to 800. If you're coming in from another company, if you're coming in as an experienced driver as an A seat, A is an apple, we'll have you do a 3-day orientation, and we offer what's called start rate pay. So we guarantee as an independent contractor, you make no less than $1,000 your first 3 weeks. If you're a company driver coming in, it's no less than 800, and your recruiter can get you that information as well. But after that, we don't have any current guarantees. Our mileage in refrigerated and flatbed averages around, for solo drivers, is around 24 to 2,600 miles per week, and then tanker, do you have that number? I think it's 2,000 to 2,200 right now, for like the last 13-week average.
Yeah.
Again, your recruiters have, if you call them, we pull profit summaries. So we look at our company drivers and our independent contractors, solo versus team. in every division for the last 13 weeks, and they have that information if you call them. I didn't bring it with me, so I'm not going to go over it because I can't remember all the numbers, and I'll probably get them wrong. But your recruiters are happy to walk through that. Class A, no experience, but I got back in October. Do I need to sign a contract for the refresher? Yes. If you haven't started within 90 days, 45 to 90 is the max that they'll push that out to, you would have to sign a contract, unfortunately. All right. I think that's probably going to be it for today. If you have questions or watching this after the fact, comment below. I do want to announce that on Monday, we are going to be returning. I think we're going to go live on Facebook and then stream the recording over here on YouTube. But we are going to bring back the weekly safety meetings. So if you're not new to Prime, you know that every Friday we used to have driver meetings in the cafe. We offer free breakfast. We stream it out to Salt Lake City and Pittston, Pennsylvania. Well, we want to start that back up right now. To restart this, we're just gonna do it virtual. We may invite some drivers to come sit in the room where we're recording this, and then eventually our plan is to slowly get back into the cafe meetings, because we know that that was something that a lot of people look forward to and a good way to see our management and leadership team. But on Monday, we're gonna have people from safety, Robert Lowe, Steve Wicke. We're gonna have a fleet manager talk about what he does, what his role is, and some of his tips for his drivers and all drivers. And what else do we say? Stan Kastricky from our training department. So if you have questions, comment below and let us know beforehand what you want them to answer. You can also tune in live on our Facebook page at 1 o'clock on Monday. Granted, no tech issues. But yeah, 1 o'clock Monday Central Time, Priming Facebook page, and yeah, driver meeting. We're gonna do it.
That's it.
A little nervous because we've never done a live driver meeting, but you'll be able to communicate in real time, and at the end of the video we'll do a live Q&A answering some of your questions from live. All right, so I was gonna say Salt Lake City, Kansas City Chiefs, go Chiefs. Everybody have an awesome day, and stay safe out there. Bye.